Ready to hear about that job then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridania. And that's all I know. But whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt it'd pose any trouble for a venturer who has survived the bedlam in Sestasha. I just realized I forgot to set Ul'dah as a preferred place, but oh, I still have tickets. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have a word with Mother Mioun, me counterpart in Gridania. Good luck, lass. Editing Nara from the future, because I didn't really explain this, but this dude started messaging me asking questions about my character while I was just standing here at the 8th rate. So, quick pause while I deal with that. Just pause while this random person is talking to me and my boss is driving me crazy. The sun went down apparently since the last time I pressed play. Made a new friend. If anybody is looking for an in-game boyfriend, let me know. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come take your... Oh, not here to dine? Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Baderon sent word about? You are? The matron be praised. I don't know what voice I want for her, clearly. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mioun, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Mioun, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? And good evening to you too, Bowlord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name's Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tamtara Deepcroft. The place was once a Gelmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will apprise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. You're Rael Risto, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bowlord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the calamity put an end to the 6th astral era. The cultists took the lesser moon Dalamud for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the deep croft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. Let's do it. I don't know why I keep trying. It doesn't hurt me to eat food, you know, for the HP boost at least. I wonder what happens if I drag them down further. Will they join me? Yeah, kind of. It's just gonna take longer to kill. I feel like I probably could have soloed these unsynced. But I also am in level 17 gear, so maybe not. Don't let me die, eager conjurer. Everything I got. That Lancer is gonna get targeted. Who summons me from the void to resurrect? What's inconspicuous about it? So I'm level 30 now, I guess? I did it! Welcome back, Rael. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the deep craft was a success. Oh my god, I can't talk. Nor did I expect anything less. Vaderon's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point. Oh, these are different. Avere's gone and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah! To the hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Avere's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it, but for God's sakes, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, Avere. Please forgive me. If only you had resurrection. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes 12 times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventures of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much, at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. Well, I mean, I might as well. Might as well make it 3 for 3, you know? So, you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quickstand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Judging by your determined expression, I take it you ain't here for ale. Are you called Rael Risto by any chance? Ewan sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. God's almighty, another second under that sun and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you'd be so kind. Excellent timing, Papa Shan. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. So this winsome lass is the much-lauded adventurer, is she? Marvelous, marvelous. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, milady. I am Papa Shan, formerly of the Sultansworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Rael of her mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as chores, maybe? Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. Creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the chores to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is oft the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the chores, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well, now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rise in demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. You got it, dude. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell mines are in western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. Fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Hello, Painted Mesa. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with this mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, miss. I just hope you've got skills to go with them, because things ain't pretty down there. Hecaton shares have left the place in a right state, and nary a week after minin' resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the Second Yule dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under mountains worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We are here to ensure that its effects are contained. But for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the Hecaton share? I didn't think that Papashon would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now. It's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can, and enter at will. I'm gonna try to do this unsynced and see what happens. I am in shitty gear, but that's okay. We're gonna try it and see what happens. Alright, let's see what happens. On one hand, it feels like it'd be crazy if I can't manage this. I don't remember. They've reworked all of these dungeons, and I always forget what the, like, new fight is. Yes, this guy. We still have the bombs and shit? Or... Guessing not, because he's taking, like, normal damage. I kind of like the old version. The thing is, so, like, they changed the fights in some of these because, like, they were unique, and you didn't have the same kinds of fights in other, like, later dungeons, and it was, like, I think the idea was, like, you're not actually learning anything from them. Which is fine, I guess. I like the uniqueness of what they were, and also my argument to that would be then put more mechanics like the ones that were in these, because they were unique and refreshing and not the same old circle AoEs. Line AoEs. Tank buster, you know? But whatever. Slaves no more. Free! Free! Like, this fight was really cool, and I don't even think he summons any other giants anymore. I am not master. Where'd they get armor and helmets? Because whatever they had before, wouldn't it have deteriorated if it was 300 years? Oh. Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mine and operations can resume, and Ul'dah will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papashan the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece. It's like she's literally behind me. No! Oh. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. Please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this, paid for with me own coin. What rot, you refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm gonna say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blades. You know, help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. Men are gross. It's fiction. Where do you think fiction comes from? But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 is me witness. What? Nobody's gonna help? Please, adventurer, help me. I beg you. I swear on me mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I'd saved. I only wanted to treat me children to a decent meal. And who the hells are you when you're at... What? And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? What is this sentence? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot, teach them a lesson. You guys are all clapping, but you weren't lifting a finger to help before. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Thank you, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over. Oh no, not again. I'd swear there were more refugees than when last I looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. It's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes. And problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek new life in the city. I see. The calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening in the other cities? If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire patrolling the streets for riffraff? May well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. You've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins! Get your dodo tenderloins! Guaranteed cheapest in Thanalan. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Madam? Are you all right? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? You mean like you were just doing? What? Saw her buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? Grr, I will overlook this, but just this once. Overlook what? Nothing wrong was done. Gods bless ye, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. Don't bear thinking about. I think he made it pretty clear what he was trying to do. Ever the selfless hero, I see. Oh, it has been a while, adventurer. I have been watching you closely ever since you flew out of Limsa Lominsa. You discharged your duty as the Admiral's personal envoy with admirable humility, and you've displayed unfaltering courage in the face of danger ever since. Whensoever you came upon those in need, you gave them succor with no thought of personal gain. In summary, you have demonstrated all of the qualities we seek in an adventurer. For reasons I cannot well explain, your every deed seems invariably to serve the general good, whether you mean it to or not. It is a happy knack, and one which speaks volumes for your character. Yet for all your admirable qualities, it is your gift which intrigues me most. I speak of the visions you experience. Visions like the one you had mere moments ago, if I am not mistaken. I can provide you with the means to understand them. An acquaintance of mine is blessed with the self-same talent, you see. If you so desire, I can introduce you to her. She and I fight for a common cause, a cause which would greatly benefit for your support. If you would agree to lend us your strength, we should be glad to do all within our power to aid you in your personal endeavors. Think on my offer a while. Should you decide to accept it, pray speak with Momodi. The proprietress of the quicksand is a close friend and ally of ours. Inform her that you have been chosen by the scions of the seventh dawn, and she will tell you where to find us. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be all right. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the women folk from time to time. Ah, Rael. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you'd been hard at it with giants in the dark. You're every ilm the adventurer Mioun said you'd be, Rael. The station master will be overjoyed when he hears the news. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Etta. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry. We were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Avere, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembers you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded, had a fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the woman you are, of all that you've achieved, I find that I am inspired, just as Avere once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I will go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask your name. Rael Risto. I shan't forget. Thank you, Rael Risto. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel bleedin' business. Time was I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be right pain in the arse looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Rael. Eh? What did you say? You want to know about the scions of the seventh dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Rael, the scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. So you want to know more then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise. I swear, if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on another, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being old on. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these scions of the seventh dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Rael. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Waken Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance and you'll be let in. You're a woman in demand, Rael, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget about them as helped you into the adventurer you are. Drop in and tell them how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right. Well, I've said my piece. Off you go. I'm not singing. Deep in the desert of my heart, a lonely flower blooms, yearning for the heavens above to quench my thirst for you. Trollolololololol. Wah! Wah! Sorry. I would thank you not to sneak up on me like that. Now, please be advised that this is private property. Unless you have pertinent business here, I must ask you to. Here at the behest of Ishtola. My sincerest apologies. May I please have your name? Rael Risto, Rael Risto. Ah, here you are. Ahem. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands, headquarters of the Scions of Seventh Dawn. My name is Tataru, and I look forward to assisting you during your time with us. The antecedent is within the solar. I shall let her know to expect you. I take it you are Rael Risto? Tataru sent word that you had arrived. Lady Minfilia has eagerly awaited your coming. This way, if you please.